Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another casted game for Crossfire Legion, and today in the southwest corner of the map we've got Hatticus playing as the Global Risk faction. In the northeast corner of the map we've got Nevraths playing as the New Horizon. Should be an interesting matchup and we shall see how this one pans out. Alright, so we see a worker going forward for Hatticus, looking to scout. That's obviously a very important part of Crossfire Legion. Just having an idea what your opponent's going for. Are they going for a second base core expansion? Are they expanding, or are they going for an infantry assembly? Which is exactly what Nevraths is doing as the New Horizon in the northeast corner of the map. And we do see now another worker going forward for Global Risk, maybe looking to get that expansion now to follow up and just to see what the opponent's doing. He may need to drop a barracks once he notices that infantry assembly. But looks like the second core base will be going down very soon for Hatticus. Okay, the worker is making his way over and looking to see what is going on. Second core base is going down. Will take some time to set up, but once it does, the economy will be nice and flowing there. Going for fuel now as well, looking to get some upgrades most likely, and we'll need to drop that barracks soon, I suspect. Otherwise it might be outproduced, although the infantry simply has gone down. Just a single Minotaur there for New Horizon will take care of that worker, and he sees it. Hatticus sees it, so probably we'll see it, the barracks going down on the back of that, I suspect. As soon as he can afford it, maybe he can't afford it just yet. But let's take a look at the Minotaur. So it's an interesting unit. It's a ranged infantry unit wielding a heavy energy cannon. Now you can use this Minotaur instead of the Vampire, which is the other unit that New Horizon get, but the Vampire is not a ranged attack. It's a melee attack, so you kind of have to get up and close and personal with that. And so I personally prefer the Minotaur, but obviously as a real-time strategy game, it depends what situation you're facing up against. Okay, so we actually see double barracks going down for Hatticus, and that's a nice addition. You know, he's got the economy nice and running. He's got the second core base, looking to get the extra workers, and now can afford to keep two barracks operating and producing. We do see some Minotaurs going forward, a second core base looking to go down for the New Horizon player being played by Nevraths here in the northeast corner of the map. So a couple of workers just coming around to saturate the fuel and the materials just a little bit more on the second core base. We do see a little bit of an annoying thing going on there. I think we're basically just letting him know he's there. So Hatticus making good use of the workers as scouts, notices that the second core base has gone down. Troopers are coming out to defend that primary core base from the double barracks that he has. So he knows that the opponent has gone for that second core base a bit later than than him. So Hatticus knows that he's got the materials advantage here, the economy advantage, and he just scouts out this third core base area just to make sure that there wasn't like another cheeky expansion. And we do see now, I think is he probably looking to go to the core base. Yeah, tier 2 going upgraded for that primary core base for Hatticus. We don't see the same for Nevraths just yet. It doesn't really have the economy for that, I suspect. Only just about getting his second core base now, and yeah, I mean, you can see the delay there. Really, this could be a massive difference in this game, the extra materials that Hatticus has. As the game goes on, he's going to be able to spike this up into a more military, more production buildings, you name it. He's going to be producing heavy amounts of units. So if he can keep kind of spending his resources, he will be definitely having a huge advantage here. We see the combat boost being unlocked as well, and tier 2 has been reached for Hatticus. So we shall see if he goes down for some vehicle factories. Yeah, he's put down vehicle factory already, looking to now get some vehicles on the field. A good tech advantage for him if he gets that. The trooper, as you can see, the combat boost is an ability that he's researched in the barracks, which sacrifices some health to increase the rate of fire and movement speed for a short duration for the trooper. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the casting content for Age of Empires, for Crossfire Legion. So as you know, I do produce content for other games as well, including Age of Empires, hence the little slip up there. But Crossfire Legion, if you are enjoying the casted games, do give the video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel, and I'll be doing a lot more casting of games, hopefully maybe even hosting a tournament later on, depending on how the game develops. We do see a couple of sentry turrets being put down by Nevraths. These will go down though. The troopers will take care of that for Hatticus. Now it's going to actually move forward to the second core base, which is very, very vulnerable. No military on the field really for Nevraths, and that's going to be a problem. He is looking to produce some though. He's going to go for some ogres, which will actually do pretty well against the troopers, but he needs to get them there. They are so out of position right now. Sentry turret is going down. Fire at will ability being used by Hatticus. This is going to be huge, destroying so many workers, and that's exactly what he wanted to do with his fire at will ability. Such a strong ability to use when you have line of sight like that. there are still quite a lot of workers there. He managed to protect them, but the firewall is idling all that economy as well. And yeah, a lot of these troopers are going to back this up and look to try and take care of the workers there. But he actually backs up. Hatticus moves away from this. A bit worried maybe what might be coming his way, which he should be, because there are 2 ogres there that could do a lot of work against these troopers. Third core base expansion has been put down now for Hatticus, and that's going to be really strong for him. He's keeping a worker here on the left just to make sure that third core base doesn't come down for his opponent. Really interesting strategy, really interesting way to see what's going on. We should take tips, guys. If you are new to the game, that's certainly something we can learn from. You know, having a work on this third core base expansion just to keep an eye on things, putting pressure on the second one, and you know, doing damage and then backing away, doing damage, backing away. You know, he could have dove a bit deeper there, maybe he could have, but he's taken the troopers, he's kept them alive. They live to fight another day, and we do now see some Cavalier coming onto the field. So the Cavalier are very interesting. They can actually deploy mines, so I'd be interested to see if Hatticus does that. And it's also very good for as a light scout vehicle to, you know, get the extra information. Sight tower has been taken by Hatticus, I believe. Oh no, it's actually Nevrath. So Nevrath has got the sight tower. Just going to keep an eye on things to see what might be heading his way. Our trooper now moving up to this core base as well. You can see Hatticus doing really good work on scouting and keeping a close eye as to whether his opponent's expanding, what they're up to. And I think as the game goes on, Hatticus should be able to build up a large military lead, and that would be very nice for him in terms of you know, going forward with the game. A couple of sentry turrets going to defend the second core base. He's going to need to defend that core base a lot because he looks like he's going to be under attack very soon. A couple of cavaliers and troopers there. Looking to solidify his position. Troopers here near the second core base and the primary core base as well. Not going to let anything slip through, not going to be playing risky, not moving all his army in one spot. And he's going to be upgrading his factory as well now. So I wonder if we'll see tier 3 coming in for Hatticus anytime soon. Okay, starting to saturate the third core base as well with materials. So economy looking very, very strong here for Hatticus, and looks like to be in a good spot. Some mines there are being deployed there. As you can see, the Cavalier played by the Global Risk, and Hatticus is actually going to deploy some mines. He's got to be careful. The New Horizon player is going to need something to scout that out and see what's happening. Otherwise, he could have a very, very nasty surprise. Okay, now we do see a transition to hangars for Global Risk played by Hatticus, and he's going to get some anti-air turrets, or just in case he gets pushed off, or he's just a bit concerned about maybe aeroplanes, you know, air units coming forward to snipe workers at his core base. So a couple of engagements here. So the sentry turrets are doing good work, as well as the ogre, and the troopers will look to try and take care of the ogre. But we do see Nevrath using a radiation zone. I don't know about using the ability there. There's only a couple of troopers there. I'm not sure if it was worth it. And he uses that radiation zone, which is you know, a very nice ability that they have. But obviously, you know, you want to save that for bigger fights like that. And Nullfield does get used as well. Okay, he's going for a third factory as well, a vehicle assembly rather, for the New Horizon faction. He's going for these Manticores, which are a very nice unit. Let's take a look at the Manticore. So the Manticore is a light tank with dual energy cannons, can be upgraded so that its weapons temporarily make targets more vulnerable to damage, and they've got the melting point ability. They can attack both ground and air units. I do quite like having those kind of units in your roster. It makes it a lot more versatile for you. Okay, we can maybe see like an engagement here. I think things are kind of grouping up here. The ogres aren't firing. One of them's going to go down pretty well, and Cavalier being microed by Hatticus, maybe looking to bring that back. But he's actually going to keep engaging, and takes another ogre down as well. Troopers here on the left as well. Got full map control. Has to be said, he's got 4 core bases. 3 core bases rather. He's got full map control at the moment. Actually no, it was 4 core bases. There's one on the left as well. Sentry turret being put down. There's not actually using it. I suspect he wants to keep an eye on the population. Wants to use population for army, I suspect. A couple of heralds on the field as well. Let's take a look at the herald then, I guess, guys. Let's take a look. So the herald is a support vehicle that can project a massive barrier that reduces incoming damage to nearby allies. So it'd be very useful as a support unit in a big battle, that's for sure. That's the Sonic Shield, I believe. Yeah, reduces damage taken by any units inside. It's also got the EMP burst, which fires an EMP attack that reduces the shields and energy of enemies and reveals them if they're stealth. So this is a very nice support vehicle indeed. So if you're up against Global Risk yourself and you're worried about a couple of Cavalier putting some mines, well, get a Herald out and you might be able to scout that out. It looks like Hatticus is just quite content in letting this game plan out. He knows that he has a lot of core base expansion, 3 core base, and he has been on for a while. A 3rd core base does go for New Horizon on the left now. I don't think Hatticus knows about this. I think he pulled out his scout unit from that area. And now we see a Manticore looking to be taken out by the troopers. Troopers probably get melted by this, to be fair. But now that he knows about this, the Ogres are going to join the Manticore. Take care of the remaining troopers. I don't think troopers are going to be on the menu for global risk for too much longer. It's kind of a unit that becomes obsolete as time goes on, obviously with the transition to the factory units and air units as well. He's still getting some troopers there on the field and some rocket troopers, making things a bit difficult for his opponent to counter. And we do see, I think there's an artillery unit there, isn't it? Yep, we see the Imperator. So this is a really strong unit. You may have seen it if you've been playing the campaigns, which, by the way, I do have a playthrough if you're interested in that. The campaign's actually fantastic in this game so far. Of course, with the game in early access, we only have access to a certain number of them as of today, but I'm really looking forward to the future campaign missions. Okay, but the Imperator itself has an artillery mode, which can deploy stabilizers to increase attack range and area of effect radius. But it does remain immobile when that's active. It's hugely powerful, really strong. If you guys have played the campaign, the 2nd mission, I believe, these guys are absolute beasts and it can be really tough to deal with. Okay, a bit of an engagement here now, heading towards the north. A couple of Ogres and Manticore, trying to pull the Manticore back for some healing. A couple of workers here going towards the 3rd core base, so I'm sure now that Hatticus knows about that. He's not going to bother about it, he's going to go for the army, but now he might switch his attention to the workers. As you can see, he's got the Heralds there doing great work with the Sonic Shield, and now can push forward with the troopers. The troopers are actually a lot more stronger now that they're in the influence of the Herald, and we do see now the Imperator. Now this is a spot to use the radiation zone. I'm not sure if the Imperator will be affected by that, but that's a nice spot to use the radiation zone. The Herald's going to do quite good work with the Sonic Shield, but Hatticus does lose a lot. But would it be enough to have lost? I'm not sure, because with the 3rd core base, active and buzzing as well, the materials and the economy for Hatticus would be super strong right now. Could be thinking about upgrading his units composition to air units. We did see the the hangars going down, so as we can see, we do actually see the halberds coming out. These are super strong units, guys. I have a FFA free-for-all game casted looking at the halberd, and it's an absolutely fantastic unit. It's so cool, it's so strong and so powerful. I think one thing in particular is that although, as you can see on the tooltip, it can only attack ground units, that's its base attack. If you have a look at the cruise missile ability, that cruise missile ability can affect both ground and air units. Now it does have a cooldown, I think it might be about 30 seconds, I'm not sure how big the cooldown is, but it needs that cooldown because it packs one heck of a punch. You land a blow with the cruise missile, trust me, your opponent's stuff is not going to be there anymore, that's for sure. It's going to be doing a lot of damage. On the left side now, it looks like Hatticus is actually going to put some pressure on the 3rd core base. I'm not sure what was there. Yeah, it looks like he's going there with the Imperator and troopers, rocket troopers as well. So he's looking to put some pressure on the 3rd core base to try and deny this as much as possible, harass his opponent. His opponent does have some sentry turrets there, decent number of sentry turrets actually. It has saturated the that particular facility, that core base. Oh, we do see a Hyperion coming in for Nevrath, looking to do some revenge damage, but I don't know, he might have to bring that back. It looks like he is bringing it back. The Hyperion is a really very interesting unit. It attacks both ground and air units, and it has a fantastic ability. The saturation bombing ability causes a lot of damage. Now this particular unit has a jump ability as well, just similar to the Lycan unit, which is an infantry for New Horizon, and it's a very nice ability to use to try and narrow the gap between you and your opponent in a particular fight. Okay, we do see some rapiers as well coming in for the Global Risk faction. It's a unit that can only fire at air, but it's so good at doing that. So a combination of rapiers and halberds can be super strong here, that's for sure. Okay, we see Cyclops, we see some Hyperions for New Horizon. Quite a lot of units for New Horizon actually. He's been able to afford quite a lot despite being only on 2 core bases for most of the game. We see Firewall by Hatticus looking to do some damage against the Cyclops, and he does get quite a big damage on those units, and now can really push on here because he does have an Imperator backed up by troopers and lots of air units. So this is looking quite rough for New Horizon, I feel, in terms of the capability to replenish the army as well. I'm sure that Hatticus must have the advantage. Okay, Okay, perfect fight. I wonder whether we see the cruise missile being used by the halberds. Not quite yet, it seems. And you can see, as you can see, they are damaging the ground units. The rapiers are pretty stationary there, of course. No air units to take care of, but he's got his units covered in that way. Okay, lots of production buildings, has to be said. Lots of aerodromes. 4 aerodromes being put down. Looks like we're getting a switch to the Pegasus. The Pegasus for New Horizon. Okay, so light ground attack aircraft. So it can attack ground and air units though. And it can switch to air weapons. So it looks like you can actually switch like during a fight. So you'll need some micro there. Yeah, so it's got some versatility there for the Pegasus. Now, 4th core base is actually working here for Atticus. 5th core base actually, it's got a lot of core bases, isn't he? Definitely looking to extract as many materials as he possibly can. I wonder if his primary core base one is depleted yet. It's not. And what could be an idea is maybe taking those workers forward here just to take these materials, just in case he's under pressure in the future part of the game. But I suspect it probably won't be, because he has got a lot of map control here. Maybe looking to make an assault on the 2nd core base, but we do see a Hyperion and some Pegasus there. Going to be able to actually take out this Imperator if he's paying attention, and micro. But the rocket troopers are there, looking to do some damage against the Pegasus. So the Imperator looks like he might be safe for the time being. So yeah, it's an interesting game. I think the fact that the map control is playing a big difference here. Atticus has been taking the extra materials for a long period of time. I think as the game keeps going on, it looks like really the New Horizon players are not ticking timer, you know, only being on the 3 core bases versus 5. And I think Atticus just needs to be aware though that he's not investing too much of his population space on workers. They're apparently looking to take out the core base, but it won't, because there are lots of Sirens there, or Pegasus rather. Yeah, I'm not sure why I keep saying Siren. These are actually Pegasus. So the Pegasus are looking to do a lot of damage, and the Rapiers getting involved against the Pegasus. You see they clear them out so badly. The halberds, they're still there. Can't use the... Actually, it's 45 seconds cruise missile cooldown. So I said 30 seconds earlier, it's actually 45 seconds. And it's going to need some micro that and keep it behind. Doesn't want to engage too quickly before getting that ability again. And unfortunately we see a pause here. I think it's just a bit of latency. Hopefully it should settle down relatively quickly. It's just the first time it's happened in this game. So hopefully it doesn't become too much of a problem, guys. Just a friendly reminder that if you have been enjoying the game, do give it a thumbs up. And I think that might have been the GG, actually. I think that's a tricky one. I think, yeah, it might have been a GG. Might have been a GG. Must have been. Okay, yeah, I think Atticus must have taken that game. GG, well played. Obviously, he was on the 5th core base for a long period of time. I think his opponent just kind of realised that it's going to be very difficult to push this back, and it's probably given up. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this casted game, and if you did, do give the video a thumbs up. I'm going to have plenty of more casted content for you for Crossfire Legends, so do check the channel, and I do have a full playlist there. But anyway, till next time, take care, see you next time.